The aphelion phenomenon in astronomy is the point in the orbit of a planet when the planet is most distant from the sun. And this starts from early July and hence late August. The health hazard of aphelion phenomenon will be the focus of today's discussion in our discussion segment. My name is Samson Owojaye and I welcome you to your favorite breakfast show, Morning Safari. As usual, I am not here alone. I'm here with my beautiful co-presenter.
All right, I welcome you this beautiful Saturday morning to Morning Safari. I am Olabisi Yusuf. Aphelion phenomenon. When this happens, it comes with a change in weather. Just like Samson has rightly said, aphelion phenomenon, we are looking at the health hazards and what precautionary measures to be taken. Right now, let me run through our lineup on the program today. We have the newspaper highlights. We'll be bringing you issues that make headlines on our dailies, the fitness segment, reducing your flabby arms. The health segment will be discussing malocclusion. And the children's segment excites me so much today. We have a new series of cartoon, Paws of Fury, and then our background report on health hazards of aphelion phenomenon. Our discussion segment too with our guests and experts, health experts, will be talking on the health hazard of aphelion phenomenon. Entertainment segment, and for our sports lovers, we have the sports segment too. At this time, we take a short break, and when we return, Morning Safari continues.
Morning Safari, your breakfast Saturday morning magazine show, is available for your patronage. From all shades of opinion to exciting and exclusive interview of personalities, corporate bodies and organizations, for your business and social engagement, event coverage, product launch and rebranding, annual general meetings, we are at your beck and call. You can as well advertise and promote your business, commercial activities, hotel and tourism, entrepreneurship development, and many more are all at our services. Contact us today. The numbers to call are Bola 080-565-30106, Tony 080-349-71969, or visit us at our office, NTA Ilorin, along Fatih Road, Ilorin. You can log on to our social streaming platform live on www.facebook.com/NTA Ilorin. Morning Safari, we serve you better.
Welcome back. I welcome you to the newspaper segment, and this morning I have with me Saturday Punch and the Guardian.
With me, I have the Vanguard and the Saturday Tribune.
All right, diving into the newspaper highlights. Saturday Punch. Adeleke forged certificates. Oyetola tells Tribunal, you are dreaming. Can't win. PDP tells governor. And behind Saturday Punch, below Saturday Punch, COVID-19 infection eats 231.5% in 1 month, says NCDC. 1,005 yellow fever cases recorded in 6 months. Details of that could be found on page 9. Tafa Balogun was virtuous. Name opened doors for us, says brother. Details of that could be found on page 29. Harms. Why Amotekun Benue Corps may not get AK-47 license. Police mom retain licensing embargo years after asking bearers with expired licenses to submit weapons. Says 2,921 sophisticated arms, 58,431 ammunition recovered in 15 months. Why we won't sanction Wike orders, says Hayu. Details of that could be found on page 8. I have no shame selling potatoes amid ASU strike. Uniuyo lecturer says. Federal government won't borrow 1.2 trillion naira to satisfy union, says minister. Details of that could be found on page 2. Falling naira, I beg your pardon. EFCC threatens to arrest dollar hoarders. Details of that could be found on page 7. I don't make mistakes, says Toke Makinwa. That could be found on page 16. And behind Saturday Punch, Family Corner, why you need genetic counseling. That could be found on page 27. Aborisha Day fires Nigeria to Special Olympics semis. For any interest in this paper, ensure to grab a copy of Saturday Punch.
Announced to Saturday Vanguard, above the nameplates we have: we kill rivals, cut off their hands for rituals, self-confessed cultists. Details of that story is on page 7. What happens between now and 2023 elections? Kadaria Ahmed fears as she insists terrorist hideouts known to government. Details of that story is on page 30. Risky stem cell transplant cures 66-year-old man of leukemia, HIV. Details of that story is on page 27. Buhari approves 24 billion naira for Naseni's modular irrigation project. That story is on page 8. Announced the biggest caption on Saturday Vanguard: economic crisis. Sack civil servants above 50 years. Governors tell federal government. Details of that story is on page 6. Insecurity. Nigerians respond to Buhari has done everything comments. Riders. FG should seek foreign help. Ex-envoy. Results not matching security spending. Captain Umar. FG should hand over security to state. Senator Huwabunwa. Our military good, but no political will to fight terror. Senator Okajev. Lagos ready for any attack. Sanwo-Olu assures residents. Details of that story is on page 7. CMAC speaks on Fela Abacha, Abiola Ken Saruwiwa. Details of that story is on page 24. Osun election. Oyetola finally files case against Adeleke. Details of that story is on page 7. Behind Saturday Vanguard, we have Odegbami ask, who is the next president of the NFF? Russian court sentences Griner to 9 years in prison. White House calls for her release. Gold rush. Amusan in women's 100-meter hurdles final. Wrestling. Ade Koroye retains her Commonwealth crown. Details inside. Commonwealth Games 2022. Nigeria to claim 4 medals in boxing today. EPL returns. New managers, teams, players and rules this season. Falcons have biggest drop in FIFA ranking. NFF election, Northern Bloc holds crucial meeting. For details in any of those stories, pick a copy of Saturday Vanguard.
And on The Guardian this Saturday, insecurity, aviation crisis worsen Nigeria's economy woes. Movement of persons, goods now hampered, our businesses crumbling, traders cry out. Travelers lament high cost of airfare. Security agencies need to up their game, says experts. The build-up to 2023 election doesn't give cause to be optimistic that things will go well, says Onoyekan. Governors under fire for advising federal government to pay off civil servants above 50 years. Gunmen kidnap Ondo monarch. Orders as Amotekun intercept 151 south-west bound passengers. Court remarks teacher for defiling minor in Oyo. Details of that could be found on page 10. Uche, Nana, I want to promote culture through my movies. Confidence Stavely to embrace cybersecurity opportunities. Women need to be open-minded. And behind The Guardian, wrestlers light up team Nigeria's camp as Adekoroye Aborodudu hits gold. And for any interest, ensure to grab your copy this morning.
And now on to Saturday Tribune. 23-year-old man steals 21 phones during JAMB exam in Ilorin. Details of that story is on page 3. Oyetola drags Adeleke to election tribunal. Alleges overvoting in 749 polling units. Details of that story is on page 4. To the biggest caption on Saturday Tribune. Amotekun arrests 151 northern youths hidden in trucks in Ondo. Details of that story is on page 3. Riders. Sanwo-Olu meets police, Navy, Army, other forces over security threats. Details on page 4. Northern elders threaten to reject 2023 candidates over arrest, killings in the South. Details on page 3. Alleged certificate forgery. Court grants order of substituted service on Tinubu. Slate September 7 for hearing. Details of that story is on page 4. Insecurity will break Nigeria soon unless we return to regionalism. Gani Adams. Details of that story are on pages 16 and 17. Buhari okays 24 billion naira for Naseni's modular irrigation project. Details on page 3. US-based professor donates $1 million to UI College of Medicine. Details on page 4. Right behind Saturday Tribune, we have notes from Atlanta with Farouk Perogi. Lai Kadaria invoke ignorance to penalize factual journalism. Sports. Arsenal win EPL season's opener. For details, for interest in any of those stories, pick a copy of Saturday Tribune. And many thanks to Olowun, your newspaper stand, for always making these papers available to us. It's now time for our next segment. What's that, Samson?
Reducing your flabby arms, and that's fitness. So sit tight and enjoy that feature.
Every person is different and everyone is unique. However, there are some certain issues that are common in a lot of people. One of such issues is flabby arms. Some people have fat accumulated only in this region. Hello, welcome to fitness segment of Morning Safari. My name is Amarachi Onyeso. With these arm toning exercises I'm about to share with you, you will turn your flabby arms into fabulous in some months, as long as you are determined to do so. First of all, we will go in with some stretches. You don't want to do your exercise without a good stretch. Then some circle arms, some tricep and share Ds, some scissors, and then we will wrap it up with some jabs. Stay with me. end of this segment. I hope you followed me through. Remember, a good exercise works hand in hand with good nutrition. You don't want to get your diet wrong while you are exercising. Flabby arms are hard to lose and harder to carry around. Morning Safari continues.
All right, you're welcome back. You saw those jabs. See my cameraman moving away. Don't be afraid. I'm not jabbing you. But you see, all of those routine was to make you have a firm arm. You understand? There's this thing we call Christian mothers. When you have too much fat.
But I guess now we even have a Christian
father. So
Wonderful.
be you a man or a woman, it is very, very important and healthy for you to have a firm arm. Something, what else do you have?
Right about now, we go to health segment, and that is a malocclusion.
Don't go away.
Human face, no doubt, is not only a physical feature that measures beauty of mankind. It is also crucial for human identity, such as the eyes, the nose, and the jaw. Damage of any of these or developmental deformities affect the psyche and capacity. Jaw, for instance, is the upper and lower bony structures in vertebrates, forming the framework of the mouth and containing the teeth. When teeth are misaligned due to childhood habits or inheritance is called malocclusion. A dentist from University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital explained malocclusion and the causes.
Malocclusion is a deviation from normal occlusion. And what we call occlusion? Occlusion is just a relationship between the upper and the lower teeth. So when anything goes wrong in that relationship, we call it malocclusion. And it occurs in children and in adults. It affects everybody. And in children, we find that when they're bringing out their teeth, because there's enough space in the jaw to prepare for the adult teeth that will come, find that the children's teeth are small compared to the adult teeth. So because they are small in size, there's enough space for the teeth to come in, to erupt, and then to come into occlusion. So you don't have crowding, you don't have all this division many times in children because there's adequate space to allow for those teeth to come in. But by the time they are changing over, by the time they're 6 years, 7 years, and they're changing over, the adult teeth, the permanent teeth that are coming, are bigger in size compared to the baby teeth. And yet they're competing for the same space. And that's why in children's you find that there's usually space to accommodate for the permanent teeth. So sometimes, these children, from their parents, they inherit size of teeth that are big and they have small jaw. So when you have small jaw with big size teeth that you have inherited from parents, there won't be enough space, so the teeth will be crowded. Or when you have a large jaw and you inherit very small teeth from the parents, find that they have just very much spacing. And then also children acquire some habits as babies. They'll start thumb sucking or tongue sucking, or putting objects in their mouth, or lip sucking. All these habits, they have deleterious effects on the occlusion.
It is said that malocclusion is common, more than 1,000 cases per year in Nigeria, usually self-diagnosable and treatable by a medical practitioner, and of course, painless. She further explained various cases of malocclusion and its management.
We find that this upper teeth is far ahead of the lower teeth. Ideally, the distance between the upper and the lower teeth should just be between 2 to 3 millimeters. Here we have 11. And what has caused this patient's problem? You can find that this upper jaw looks constricted, looks narrow. And it's because of digits. If your jaw is small, you can, with that appliance, move it so that it will become bigger. And if the jaw is large, you can also have appliances that can move to make it smaller, up to a certain extent. If it proceeds beyond that, sometimes there can be surgical procedure. So it can always, and then maybe the child inherits small teeth and there's now spacing. We can close up the spaces.
A dental surgery technician, Dental Clinic, University of Ilorin, shed more light on patients' experience before and after the surgery.
They are always happy because before coming to the treatment, they have some psychological belief. Some can't smile well, some to relate with people is difficult, but after the treatment, they have a good smile. They can relate to a good picture, a good job, and so on.
People with children living with malocclusion have been advised to come for treatment as it is indeed painless. Your look is in your hand. Morning Safari continues.
All right, you're welcome back. That was a medical report on malocclusion if the teeth are not properly aligned. So if you observe anything, you observe two teeth clamping on each other, it's a deformity. You may wish to see a dentist. Something. What do you have to say on that?
Of course, just go ahead and see the dentist, and we've seen some of the causes over there, so I think they should be duly observed.
Okay. So moving ahead.
Yeah, we have Paws of Fury, and that's for the children's segment. So don't send your children on errand. It's their time to enjoy Morning Safari. Stay tuned.
Where did that come from? The title department. That blue should be more blue. Huh? That's wrong. Ah! You can't find those. Start again. You like these? No. Ah! How's everything coming along? The Shogun is coming to visit in 1 week. Everyone knows he's trying to decide who his successor will be. And if I have anything to do with it, it'll be me. I spared no expense making this the grandest palace in the land. Imported mice to chase. Fine couches to ruin. I even got the first and second largest balls of yarn in the world.
My, you have big balls.
And the crown jewel of the palace, my state-of-the-art bathroom. Behold, the future. I call it the Super Bowl, because that's what it is, a Super Bowl.
Impressive.
I hope the Shogun thinks so. The only thing left to solve is our little problem.
Kakamucho?
Precisely. What do you do when you're a landlord and you have tenants you really hate? You evict them.
But the town's been there for thousands of years.
I give you an order and you give me facts. Really? The only fact I'm interested in is that hairball of a town is ruining my magnificent view. We've got to wipe them off the map in order to make this palace absolutely perfect.
But what about the samurai that's there to protect them?
Just get rid of their samurai. The Frady cats will follow. But make sure it can't be traced back to me.
You warn the others, I'll get the samurai. Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Mr. Samurai! Mr. Samurai! Bad cats are coming! We need your help!
I've got this. I know exactly what to do.
All right, welcome back. Still on Morning Safari, and right about now we are diving into the most important segment, which is the discussion segment on your favorite TV show, Morning Safari. And I have already the guest in the studio with me, but before I give you the full details of who he is and what he's here to do, of course, I want us to take a short time out to see the background report. Stay tuned, don't go away.
Following the present atmospheric condition, which though not excessively cold, but its coldness is touching and penetrating. This change in weather condition has been attributed to what is known as a aphelion phenomenon by the astrophotographers and astronomers. The phenomena occur when the distance from the Earth to Sun is about 94.51 million meters, approximately to 152.1 million kilometers away from the Sun. Morning Safari spoke with the cross-section of respondents in Ilorin metropolis to know what, if any, of the danger this phenomenon poses on human health.
I'd say it's pretty unusual because, this time of year it's supposed to just rain, but there's a lot of flu in the air and dust and everything. Yeah, right now my voice is very cracked. I can't really talk. And my chest, everything, my hands are dry and they're everything, everything.
So what have you been doing to at least to keep yourself warm?
Yeah, I'm just trying to cover up. People are always saying that I might be the only one who to catch it. But yeah, it's good that you catch it. So that's why I'm wearing hoodie, nose mask.
I used to feel like to sleep more because of the weather.
Young, older, almost every family feel the coldness of this weather. And you must notice how people kit up with sweater to keep warm. In fact, we eat and drink hot water these days as the weather presents cold, cough, and even headache.
How are children and older persons coping with the coldness and how it can be catered for?
The weather is very cold, very, very cold. But we thank God that we are still alive.
It do affect the elderly, the normal people, the young age and the children, because there will be excessive cold, and this will have impact on flu, cough, and people that have a respiratory problem, and asthmatic patients. This can lead to shortness of breath. So to prevent all this, we must keep ourselves very warm. We must make sure that we take all things. We drink hot tea, hot coffee, and then keep ourselves warm. Use blankets. Sometimes you can even use room heater. We do have what we call room heater that will make the home or your office warm for you. For a normal person, you might not feel this as such, but for anybody that has any respiratory problem, it's a serious problem for them because they won't be able to breathe well. They need more of oxygen at that time. So all this must be looked into. We must take like ginger, garlic, those things that will prevent clogs in our respiratory tract. In the trachea, the lungs, we must keep everywhere clean and clear.
An hydroclimatologist, Professor Fabi, University of Ilorin, is standing by in the studios to give us a better understanding of the aphelion phenomenon, its causes, and, of course, its adverse effects on humans.
Welcome back, and I'm sure you enjoyed that background report. And it's time now to get into the depth of this segment, which is the discussion segment. And my wonderful guest is here with us, and his name is Professor Paul Ifabiyi, an hydroclimatologist from the Geography Department of the University of Ilorin. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. The first thing I would like to ask you, as an hydroclimatologist who understands almost everything that happens in the space, is can you tell us in a layman language how aphelion phenomenon occurs and its causes?
Yes, the aphelion phenomenon. Well, I don't want to use the word phenomenon because the word phenomenon is the social media craft. They crafted it out of their own maybe understanding of what aphelion is all about. You see, the Earth revolves around the sun in a circular form, but the revolution, actually, the part of the revolution is not actually a perfect cycle. It's like it has an oval shape. What is supposed to be circular is oval in shape. That is, it has a shape of an egg, oval, which means is an elongation. Certain part is longer than the other one. So it's like you have a cycle that is compressed, and then it has two edge boards. And it therefore means that along that part, there will be sometimes in the year. What I mean by revolution is it takes place in 365 days, 365.256 days. That makes a complete revolution, which is equivalent to a year. So on that part of movement, there are times along that revolution that the Earth has a longer length to the sun, and there are times it has a shorter length to the sun. When it has a longer length to the sun, it's called aphelion, which is experienced on the 4th of July. When it has a shorter length, is January 4th. So this goes on every year, and it takes place in a day. It's a normal thing that happens in a year. You see, the way nature or God has done the earth, it's perfectly done with accuracy. It's calculated. Everything works on next. So there's no problem. That's what is called aphelion. The other side is called perihelion. Do you get it? So that's what is caused. During that time, it is believed that the earth is so far from the sun. And therefore, because of the distance, temperature become low. But that's the thing. But when you look at the distance, the mean distance of the Earth to the sun is 150 million kilometers. But during aphelion, it is 152 million kilometers. And then during the other side, when it is shorter, it's about 147. So that difference of 5 million is not strong enough to actually affect the temperature of the Earth.
Wow.
So that's it. You see, the process by which the Earth is heated is different from, but it's not through that process. The amount of heat that gets to the Earth depends on the angle of tilt of the Earth. Whether it is perpendicular, whether it is tilted. And that determines the amount of heat that actually gets to the Earth. And that is within the weather phenomenon. Wow. The other phenomenon of aphelion has to do with season. Aphelion controls the season. The Earth is not heated along that part. It's heated on the other hand. But then, there's this summation that the amount of the differences in the energy that gets to the Earth may be able to affect or sway the temperature of the Earth. I want to say that the little difference in that distance cannot sufficiently cause cold on the Earth, like it is done that they insinuated or written on social media. I saw what was written on social media. Somebody who's not an expert was claiming that that situation could actually lead to lower temperature across the globe, and that has been disputed by even NASA.
Wow.
So it has been disputed, and the correct thing is that it is not. But what we experience is not a local thing. But then you discover that this cold trend of temperature has been on for some time. It didn't start on July 4. It has been on for some time. You discover that generally, especially in London, what is responsible for that is because we are not having rains. We don't have enough energy on Earth. What I mean by energy is solar output. We don't have enough temperature, not solar output. We don't have sufficient temperature that can cause convection. Convection is what causes rain. And when you don't have enough energy to propel convection, this is exactly what you see. The temperature drops because the rain that is supposed to fall is not expected, is not seen, cloud is not coming.
All right, sir.
And that's what leads to the.
Thank you very much, sir. So, if I may ask, aphelion, does it have any health hazard posed on the
Yes, the aphelion is just like I disputed, that it doesn't have sufficient power or whatever impact to cause temperature change. It does not really have any effect because the last year we didn't experience it. Maybe I can't remember, but it was not experienced. But there's just a coincidence in the low temperature that we're experiencing. But the low temperature, of course, has impact. It has both positive and
the negative.
Impact. I'll start with the positive.
Okay.
The positive is that when there is low temperature, the fatigue, you don't have problem of fatigue. So people that are doing any work, you have enough energy to do whatever work you are doing. For example, those that are doing hard labor, the farmers, people that use physical energy, even mental energy. For example, you don't need too much of AC now. So all these things will has impact on fatigue. You'll be able to work for longer hours. You'll be able to conserve your energy. Those are the positive side effects. Then at this time, malaria may not be too prominent because heat triggers malaria. So these are some of the positive side of the. I'm sure people that are doing hard labor will enjoy this weather. There's no doubt about that. Yes, because farmers will be able to work for a longer period in their farm, particularly in the tropics. But for the health implication, normally when the temperature, relative humidity, they have very significant effect on diseases. When temperature is low, you are likely to have some of the diseases, contagious diseases becoming very prominent.
Yes, sir.
Because now you are likely to have cold. You see people going with pullover, sweaters and things like that. But the elderly too will not also like this weather. They want something warm. And the elderly will maybe falling sick somehow. This is a time that you provide a lot of warmth around the elderly and the kids, the younger ones. You have to wrap them very well so that they don't catch cold. This also can also trigger flu, what you call catarrh, and then but you know they happen with the coming of maybe a tweet of what or the social media or whatever of that person that triggered the discussion and said a phenomenon. It's just a coincidence. It's the low temperature that we're having our local weather that is causing the low temperature. It is not the aphelion. Aphelion affects the whole world.
Wow.
It's a world thing. It's a global thing. Our local weather is responsible for these. I must say also that in the last few years, you've discovered that this kind of temperature or this type of weather is becoming more dryness, especially in the middle of the rainy season. It's becoming a pattern, and some of these things happen to be as a result of the climate change that we have, as a result of the human impact on our climate and weather system. And the feedback is what we get: dryness. You get things become unpredictable. Weather becomes so difficult to forecast. And you agree with me, sometimes when anything comes on board and tell us that we are going to see this, sometimes it doesn't happen. It's not the fault of the NT. It's because weather is becoming unpredictable because of the climate change. These are the.
And when we look at the aphelion, does it really have any effect on plants? Because you've spoken about the effect on humans.
Yes, it definitely. Since the aphelion, what you call the phenomenon in cold, I've disputed it.
Yes, sir.
The cold weather, rather, may have effect to some extent, to a large extent, on agriculture and plants, because when it is excessively cold, this kind of weather, there will be dryness.
Okay.
What we call dry spells.
Okay.
Rain will not fall. So you start having days without rain for consecutive days without rain for certain number of days. And then that's not too good for, this is the time that you want to plant the second cycle of maize.
Yes, sir.
We have had the first cycle. That's why you see, and that has been affected. You see corn cellar everywhere. The second cycle is supposed to start now. Okay. Now we cannot. Farmers are afraid of because of the spell that we're experiencing during the rainy season.
All right.
It has effect
on the plants.
On agriculture.
Thank you very much, sir. Right about now, we want to take a short time out to see the medical aspect of the aphelion. Stay tuned.
When you look at the time when this aphelion venom used to occur, you don't expect Harmattan around the period, but around the period will be dusty, and people with asthma that are not using their mask will inhale this, and it will stimulate the asthmatic attack. And at that particular period, some used to have reawaken their asthma, bronchitis, flu. And around the time, the elderly, you see, they are the worst hit because they respond quickly to changes in temperature and changes in weather. Well, like for this year, we have some signs of flu, catarrh, cough, dryness of the eye. People complaining of itching in the eye a lot because of the change and Harmattan-like change in weather. So during this period, since we know we have to do things that we used to do to prevent catarrh during Harmattan or to treat flu during Harmattan, we should ensure that we are wearing our mask. Even washing our hand too is very essential because bacteria are often very active in this time and we can easily transmit it among ourselves. So we should imbibe the habit that we do for COVID protocol. Keeping warm, using hot water, and even inhaling steam is one of the things we could be doing, so that our membrane will be wet all the time and the infection will not have time to penetrate.
Welcome back, and that was the medical perspective. And as our guest has rightly said, he said it is not a phenomenon, it's an annual occurrence that happens all over the world. And then the coldness we are experiencing right now is as a result of our local weather here. All right, I want to ask also, sir, could it be due to this aphelion that we are experiencing drought?
Well, the drought, or let me put it properly, the dry spell that is being experienced in the middle of the rainy season is just our normal local weather.
Local weather, okay.
Yes, and which is unusual.
All right.
When you have days of about 7 days consecutively without rain, or with a certain amount of rain, then you have dry spells. You have what you are experiencing now is simply as a result of climate change.
Okay.
That is, like I said before the break, we normally have 2 cycles of farming of planting our maize or crops.
Yes,
the second cycle is becoming difficult to do because of that drought or the spell. This break within, we normally have the August break, but now the August break doesn't last more than 2 weeks. But sometimes now you see that the break can be up to 1 month or more, or sometimes it's becoming unpredictable.
Yes, sir.
And this drought in the middle of the rainy season or dry spell in the middle of the rainy season is not part of the weather system. some 20, 30, 40 years back. But now, because we're now having a change, which is global again, then that's why we're having it. The solution to that is that agriculture all over the world is no longer rain-fed. Nobody, in many parts of the world, in sinners parts of the world, people don't pray for rain. You have to, gone are the days that you go and fast and pray for rain. But I'm not saying prayer, I believe in prayer and fasting very well. But gone are the days that will depend on nature for agriculture. Now, there are new technologies of irrigation. There are hydrophobic systems of, what do you call it, where you have this thing, greenhouse. These are the things that are used now. Technology is used for agriculture.
All right,
it's no longer allowed for you to depend on nature for agriculture.
Thank you very much, sir. So I want to also ask, we know it's now it's a natural phenomenon. It's a natural aphelion now. Let me put it that way. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So is there anything we can do to mitigate this occurrence?
You see, there's nothing you can do to mitigate it. It's because it's not a problem.
Okay.
It's just the normal cycle. The earth must revolve. If you are going to have seasons,
all right.
You are going to have, what I mean by season, you are going to have summer, winter.
Yes, sir.
You are going to have autumn,
so it's
spring.
A normal occurrence.
If you are going to have dry season,
yes,
wet
sir.
season, the earth must move around in 3 seasons. If you are going to have 365 days in the year, the earth must move.
So the aphelion must
just
occur.
Normal.
All right.
Aphelion must occur. Perihelion must occur.
All right, so let me ask now, sir, what can we as humans do to be able to adapt to this condition?
What we should do, or what we can do, or what we could do to adapt to the changes in climate that we're experiencing, or the changes in weather that we're experiencing, is that we need to be more proactive and meet the problem as it comes. Like now, we are supposed to wear jackets if you are feeling cold. Then for the agriculture,
yes, sir.
Our insurance system has to be improved, whereby farmers and their crops or whatever they are doing can be insured. These are the ways out.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. I've been in the studio with Professor Paul Ifabiyi, an hydroclimatologist from the Geography Department of the Unilorin University, University of Ilorin. And thank you so much for coming today. We believe next time we call on you, you're going to oblige. All right, right about now, it's time to go to entertainment segments with Favor Ejiro. I believe she's ready. Stay tuned.
Morning Safari, your breakfast Saturday morning magazine show, is available for your patronage. From all shades of opinion to exciting and exclusive interview of personalities, corporate bodies and organizations, for your business and social engagement, event coverage, product launch and rebranding, annual general meetings, we are at your beck and call. You can as well advertise and promote your business, commercial activities, hotel and tourism, entrepreneurship development, and many more are all at our services. Contact us today. The numbers to call are Bola 080-565-30106, Tony 080-349-71969, or visit us at our office, NTA Ilorin, along Fatih Road, Ilorin. You can log on to our social streaming platform live on www.facebook.com/NTA Ilorin. Morning Safari, we serve you better.
Hello and welcome to the entertainment segment on Morning Safari. I am Ejiro Favor. Today I have lots of stories to keep you gawking in laughter and as well as we think. But before then, let's take a short break. Welcome. On my first story for today, Mercy Chinwo and Pastor Blessed Uzochikwa are legally married. The couple had their court wedding on Thursday, August 4, 2022. They took to their respective Instagram accounts to share photos from the ceremony. This comes weeks after their traditional introduction ceremony. Wow! So, Pastor Blessed is now officially married to his sister. Well, congratulations to them. And to our second story for today. Mary Unjoku's view on paternity test. Nigerian actress and businesswoman Mary Unjoku has stated in an Instagram post that a man cannot conclude that his wife is unfaithful just because he found out that their child isn't truly his. She shared the opinion on her Instagram page. According to the Rock TV chairpersonnel, if the child isn't yours, he or she might not be hers too. There is a possibility. Dear men, you cannot conclude your wife is unfaithful because the child isn't yours. Please do another DNA test to check if the child is ours. Strange things are happening everywhere. Wow, I'm amazed. But I want you all to listen to our advice because you never can tell. It will be of great help later on. And our last story for today. Nollywood goes to Bollywood. Well, isn't this exciting? Amisha Dayani Ahuja, an Indian producer as well as director, is cooking up something great. She decided to add some spice to her story. Auntie came to Nigeria, and guess what? She will be working with RMD. She also will be working with the king of boys, Sola Sobowale. She will be working with Brother Shaggy. You know what? Like you always say. She will be working with Nancy Isime. And also, she will be working with Rahama. Wow, Dania has taste too. Wow, she really has great taste. Well, you know how these Indian movies are like. You see things like Bing Bana when they'll be zooming in and out the images. But all the same, I know they are cooking up something great. I hope you had an interesting session with me today. I remain Ejiro Favor. And for more spontaneous stories from the world of sport, stay glued to your TV.
Hello and welcome to the sports segment on Morning Safari. I am Ejiro Favor. On our lineup of stories for today, Chelsea have completed the signing of Marc Cucurella from Brighton as Thomas Tuchel's spending spree continues this summer. The Spanish defender was the most sought-after player in the summer transfer window, as Manchester City and Barcelona were also interested in landing him. After joining Brighton in the summer of 2021 from Spanish side Getafe for a reported fee of €15.4 million, he is again on the move. He had a fantastic season with the Seagulls, which saw him win the Players' Player of the Season. Nigeria assisted with its recent comments about the continent. The club chief stirred up controversy earlier this week as he publicly vowed not to sign any player who would participate in the Africa Cup of Nations. De Laurentiis said Napoli and other clubs across Europe have been idiots for paying full salaries to players that shelve their duties mid-season to take part in the international tournament. Those comments came despite star Napoli striker Victor Osimhen hailing from Nigeria. Atlanta have confirmed the signing of Ademola Lookman from Bundesliga side. Although the Syria side did not reveal contract details in terms of duration and fee, reports have a 4-year contract with the Black and Blues for a fee in the region of €15 million. And that will be all of sports for the week. I am Ejiro Favor.
All right, welcome back from sports segment and entertainment segment. And just to remind you that the Premier League is starting today. And I'm sure sport lovers are going to be happy jumping up right now. And this is where we're going to be wrapping it up today on Morning Safari, your favorite breakfast show. And I want you not to mind the misconception going on social media that aphelion is a phenomenon. No, it's a natural occurrence and an annual occurrence. All right, my name is Samson Owojaye. See you next time. Bye-bye.
And I am Olabisi Yusuf on the EPL that is starting today. I want to tell you that I am glad because I am a full-chested Manchester United fan and I'm tipping my team to win the trophy at the end of the season. See you another time. Goodbye.